Okay, so here in this house, actually, I have had some stuff happen that I thought it's kind of questionable. So, real recently, within the last few months, I have, you know those little room sprays that you hang up and they just automatically go shh,
Yeah.
you know, like that.
Yeah.
So I have one in my kitchen, and I'm just there getting ready to feed the dogs, and or dog, because I just had one dog at the time, and I remember it's right by the fire extinguisher where you walk in, and it's on the right, and it's hanging on the wall, and I remember watching it fly off the wall. It didn't just fall down; it flew out at an angle, you know, and it hit the ground pretty hard. And I remember looking at it like, holy shit, what happened? Like, I'm looking at it like, wow, that is strange, because right away you think it would just fall straight down, but no, it flew out. And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, fuck this, I'm not giving you any attention. And I just pick it up and put it back on the wall. Never heard anything from that. I was like, nope, we're not doing this. It's like, I don't got time for this. But there have been a couple of times where I've been home alone, and it's been like super early, getting ready for work, and it's like maybe 5 a.m. or so, and I'm in my bathroom, and I hear a knock on the bathroom door, and I'm like, nobody should be knocking on the door. I'm by myself. And I literally say, hello? Nothing. And I open up the bathroom door, and hallway's empty, dark and empty, no one there. And I'm all like, clearly I hear a knock. I'm not going to be one of those like, oh my God, did I hear it or not? I don't, you know, it's like, no, it was a knock, and I heard it, and, you know, it was nothing. So I'm like, oh, well, another thing to ignore, you know, just, you know, go on with my life. So, so my next story. So this is what happened when I was, I don't even want to say I was a kid. It was even younger before running around and all that. I don't even think I could walk very well, you know, not because I didn't know how, but because of the lack of willpower and all that, by the way. I just didn't want to walk. Anyway, so, no, I think I was like maybe 2, maybe 3, I don't know. I just remember being in my parents' room, and I'm in a little bassinet, literally right beside my mom's side of the bed. So if I'm lying in the bassinet, my mom is on this side, and the bed is over here. There's a window on that wall, and there's a nightstand behind me with a lamp. And you have the far wall on that side and a doorway. There's a doorway right in front of me, maybe, and I'm just guessing by what I remember as an adult, maybe 5, 6 feet maybe away. No, that doesn't sound right, because 5 or 6 feet would be the bed. Maybe about 8 feet is the doorway. And so what I remember is that there was a silhouette of someone standing in the doorway. So it's dark in the doorway, but the silhouette's darker than the hallway. You know, and so there's clearly a man, and it's a man standing there in the doorway, and I can see it. And then I remember my mom starting to yell at it, telling it to go away, you know, and I clearly remember this, like she's frantic about it, and then I hear her hand reach over to the lamp and fumble with the little pull down chain that a lamp has, and she pulls it down and turns on the light, and the silhouette is gone. You know, and I remember it was a couple of years ago that I brought this up with my brother, because I never did. But I remember that very clearly. But it's not traumatizing or anything. But I just remember that. So I brought it up with him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's when we used to live in these apartments way back in the day." I think he might have been like 4 or 5, or he might have been 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. I don't remember. We're about 5-year difference, so I think he actually would have been probably about 8. Anyway, so I remember him talking about how he would see things like that, especially in his closet, and but he would just sleep through it. Like he would wrap the covers around him real tight, and then just ignore it, and then just go to sleep. And apparently that was an issue. You know, growing up, Because he would hear things out of his closet. He would see the shadow things like in the doorways and stuff. So he always slept with his door closed. My parents are more like, no, we got to sleep with the doors open. So that's why the door was open. And so I just remember that creepiness, I guess. Again, I don't have a whole lot of emotion with it because I can't really recall emotion, but I can recall like what I saw.
Yeah.
And so with that, I can remember clearly the light coming on and that thing just disappearing as soon as the light came on.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's my story.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
Nope.
So anyway, that's where I started. I think it was a few years ago that I started like looking up, like, oh, what are shadow people? Let me hear about the legends and stuff. What
I don't know if they have another name. I feel like they have another name.
Oh, I don't know. I think shadow people sound so cool.
Oh yeah, it really does, right?
I
think maybe it's like an alternate dimension kind of.
I read about that.
Into it.
Yeah.
It's like Ghost. Remember Ghost? That movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Oh yeah.
And those shadow people come and take that dude away. That kind of freaked me out when I was little.
You were watching Ghost?
Yeah, remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember that. Such a sexy little movie. Anyway.
It's a good movie.
Anyway. What about you, Rob? You got anything?
Yeah, growing up, my grandparents' house, they had this little two-story house. Two-bedroom. Two-bedroom house.
That changes it completely.
Right.
Go on.
Yeah, it was a small house. This is like where my mom grew up. My mom was the oldest of 7, so they all grew up in this little two-bedroom house and everything. And then when we moved to San Angelo, we had to live with my grandma for a while until we found a home. And so we were staying there. And then, of course, my grandpa always told me about like a ghost that's there. It's like there was a guy here a long time ago. He went away to go get supplies, and he came back, and his wife is murdered.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Yeah, this happened like a long time ago. He goes, but if you listen, you just stay quiet in the house. You'll hear people walk across the floor. You see the doorknobs move. Nothing like aggressive or anything scary like that. We were just used to like you could just hear the footsteps. Just randomly doorknobs move, stuff like that. And then they were telling me like when my uncle was like 15 or 16. He was like, talking shit to the ghost, to the spirit in the house. And he said, yeah, I don't believe that. None of that's true or anything like that. And all my uncles can attest for this. My uncles are like, in the middle of the night, the bed started shaking and it shook my uncle off the bed. And then ever since then, they were just like, don't talk bad about the spirit in this house. And even then, like when we do family gatherings and stuff like that, my uncle always does a toast. He always says at the end, this is to my spirit friend also. He's still like, it traumatized him so much, he still toasts the spirit. Even though like now the house, like they ended up like building a giant fine arts museum. They tore down the house and they built a giant, I haven't been into the museum. It's been there like 20 years now, but I haven't been in the museum ever since they tore down the house. So I don't know if there's any transfer in there or anything like that. Like I don't know if the ghost is in the museum now.
Has to be.
Like it's very angry.
It's right on because the museum took out the whole block of homes that were right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge museum. So they took out, and they were all like little 2-bedroom homes. They were like built in the 20s and the 30s.
Well, at least the ghosty has some more entertainment now, right? Like,
right.
No, that ghost is pissed now.
Right, but yeah,
he's like, I don't understand this kind of art.
Yeah, it was just a thing growing up. Like you could just hear it. You could just hear it walking.
Did I just see a woman's ankles on that photo?
Why is the chair upside down on the ground?
Right. But yeah, that was like one of the little instances that we had, and it was just like a normal thing to us. It was just like
to hear noises and to see things move, and
yeah. I was just like, yeah, we never paid, and I've never been in a house where anything's been like that ever since, and it wasn't even creepy. My uncle would just tell me, yeah, he'll just be walking across the house, and you hear it. Yeah, it was weird.
You're like, it's the predator.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was just a homie.
Right. He just like kind of hung out. I guess his dead wife wasn't there when he got back, and then he got killed.
Don't you guys think it's like weird, like if your house is haunted, like, hey, this ghost probably see me masturbate?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully there's a little bit of a show.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like this ghost knows what it sounds like when I climax.
That ghost is probably like, again?
Does he do anything else?
That's all he does.